Welcome everyone. So today we will be talking about the first DLC for Outer Worlds. The first DLC is known as Peril on Gorgon. So you're gonna start in your ship. We're gonna get like a little package. Package is dropped here. We end up looking at the package and find out that it's from a man. Not only it's literally a phonograph with a severed hand attached to it. So it basically talks about how he was like not a vigilante, but like a person for hire. Like he doesn't really go one way or the other. A person for hire, whoever is offering him enough money, he'll do the job. But basically, he was saying like he is doing this job, and then he was trying to figure out what happened with the company known as Spacer's Choice and a component that they used. Let's just select companions use here. A component that they used that got shut down, and this component was used on Gorgon. It was a whole big project. So basically, in this DLC, you're trying to figure out what happened, why the project failed. You start to see slowly but surely. I'll try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. You'll start to see slowly but surely. Right here, we're on the manor. The manor of what's it called? My apologies for forgetting the name. Right here we're on the Ambrose Manor. So the Ambroses are one of the key people in this story that speak about building a brand and having the brand not reach its fruition. And you start to learn as you're listening to the audio logs and as you're hacking inside the computers that things went wrong very quickly. A lot of that had to do with bad leadership, rushed due dates, Spacer's Choice not taking care of its people at all. And like it'll even say like in some of the places like, like let's say someone sent them an email and they were like, Jessica was being a jerk and she's kind of violent and hitting me and stuff like that. They'll be like, well, while we understand you weren't pleased with Jessica's behavior, we ask that you refrain from using words like violent. So let's use words more like physically distressed onto others or something like that. So then it's kind of funny and kind of like disturbing because some companies really do act like that. But anyways, you come to one of the main people. It's one of the ladies that sent you basically the distress. 1 second. Where was Minnie? There you go. Her name was Minnie. I apologize again, but her name was Minnie, and Minnie basically tasked you to go find out what happened, and you need to go find her mother's journal, Mrs. Ambrose. You need to go find her journal and figure out why the product didn't work. You also find out what the product was meant for, and just a little baseline. Just imagine, everyday worker. It's getting tired. Let's go to actual Gorgon. Oh, whoops. Wait, did I pick the right place? Yeah. So everyday workers getting tired, and they're trying to figure out how to keep up production, in a regular company without much decline in their workers. So they were like, okay, let's come up with this product and see how it works on people. So come to find out that it does not work well on people, and it causes a whole slew of issues. It causes people to act erratic and crazy and just not behave properly. So they're pretty much polar opposite to what they were hoping for. So you'll come on to the scene here. Here's Khalil. It'll probably be one of the first people you see. He runs a general store here. You could ask him questions about Project Gorgon, and he'll give you some information. You know, the similar stuff to the main campaign, you know, with talking to people, standard Obsidian fare. You'll definitely be going across here. It's a pretty cool place. Gorgon is definitely not a very hospitable place. And that's made pretty evident with all the damn marauders going everywhere. Also of note, the level cap from the main game, which you're gonna have to be level 30 to play the DLC. The level cap from the main game is well, not the main game, sorry. Level cap for the main game is 30, but if you want to play this and get to the end, you're most likely gonna hit around level 36. So they added another 6 levels, and some of the equipment you get are, you know, of course, going to be in the 30 pluses as well. Your standard, you know, handguns and one-handed weapons, two-handed, shotguns, grenade launchers, flamethrowers. Similar stuff to what you saw in the main game. They didn't really do much in the way of like giving you new weapons to choose from. It was more of like a new story, location, and characters to deal with. But definitely as you run around here, you're gonna fight marauders. In some places you're gonna fight I forgot their exact name, but you're gonna fight like these gorilla creatures that I believe was in the main game as well. And they're a pain in the ass. You're gonna fight some mechanical robots as well, some help robots. You're gonna fight Ooh, damn it, I missed him. Damn, twice. You're gonna fight like minigun robots, which that's a pretty hard part later on. Another cool little tidbit that they did that I wish more RPGs did is they allocated, the quest log in the sense where like you can tell, okay, this is from Peril on Gorgon. It'll say it right there to the middle right, and it'll also have this green hint to it. So there's about like 11 missions, side missions and main missions included. It's not like it's a very long DLC, but you know, I found it pretty fulfilling, and the story of trying to figure out, you know, like I said, what happened to the people and why it, you know, things turned out so terribly. Oh, there you go. Frostosaur. They're slightly new, but they're basically like, honestly, they're kind of like a reskin of some of the creatures on the Earth terrain area. So you're gonna come across different people. You're gonna go to different parts. So let me show you the map real quick. So as you can see, the map's not like huge or anything like that. It feels bigger than what it looks like in actuality. So I thought that was interesting. But you're gonna go to places like facilities. You're gonna go inside ruins. You're gonna go inside chem labs, lower exterior. You're gonna go upper exterior, places like that. Executive suites, Marauder stronghold. You're gonna come across audio logs of the man that got killed, that his hand was on the phonograph. You're gonna come across his audio logs. You're gonna come across audio logs of people that you can just listen to it and see how crazy they became. Like, I'll play you one of them. Lucky was his name. Lucky was the man with the severed hand. I'll play you one of them just so you guys can hear it. Lucky Montoya, yep. Yeah, the Archie Excelsior comics. That's a part of a side mission, and if you get all four comics, if you get all four comics, then you get access to the fanboy club area that the people abandoned when they abandoned Gorgon. And they have like a cool little weapon in there that is yours to keep. But you have to get all four comics, and you have to answer a little what's it called? You have to answer a little questionnaire, and each time you get a question wrong, they're like, "Oh, we will not, allow people that basically, didn't read the comics to come in here." Like you have to pass, the questionnaire test. So I thought it was pretty funny. So you have like little funny things in there like that. Let me take you guys to, let's take you inside one of the chem labs. I'll probably take you inside some of the places and then show you some of the people you'll run into, just so you guys have a feeling for that. Let me see. Okay. You'll notice as you're going through, there's a certain entity that keeps trying to stop you. They have like this kind of persona to where it's like, oh, you need to stop pursuing, you need to, leave now and stuff like that. And they're gonna try to bar your way from you figuring out what happened here. And they're kind of enigmatic. They show up from time to time, and like sometimes you'll get close to figuring something out, and then they'll stop you cold, and you're like, ah, damn. Yeah, there you go. The primals are here. But they'll like stop you cold, and then you'll be like, damn, have to turn around, or now we have to, ask Minnie, figure out what's going on. Things like that. Keep in mind, this DLC has 3 endings. I recommend you try to get the neutral ending, as I call it, because there's like the other 2 endings I wouldn't even say are good and bad endings. They're more of like bad and worse. That's the way I would describe those endings. So definitely try to get the neutral ending if you can. It's a little tricky to get, but if you can get it, I definitely recommend it. It just seemed like the more fulfilling ending to me. But, totally up to you. You don't have to do that. As you're going through, you'll also find like encampments. You'll find like poison areas like down there. You'll find a bunch of shortcut elevators like this, for instance. You'll find bridges. I think there might be some primals down here if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, there they are. Look how evil they look. 1 second. My apologies. My apologies for that. My dog just started barking all of a sudden. But anyways, oh no. Oh shit. he's right on me. Oh, I didn't even know it tells me to the left there. His stats and everything. I didn't even know that. I love combat shotguns. They're amazing. Eradicates everything totally. But anyways, you also have elevators like this here. There's no new perks that I know of. It's just more of the perk trees that you were going through before. Is there anything else new per se that I can mention? There's new armor. Like this armor that I'm wearing is like what their marauders were wearing. So what was that armor called? Expanded heavy power armor, Hephaestus. Yeah, so there is that. There is that at least. They gave us new armor. Like I said, some new weapons, but not entirely. It's not what this DLC was hoping to accomplish, I think. Okay, so let's go into the Gorgon Ruins. You know, again, I just want to, as I'm talking to you guys, go into different areas so you could just get a gist of what things look like here on Gorgon. As you could see, it is very inhospitable to humans. All we've seen so far is robots, marauders, and freaking primals. So we've seen a lot of bad shit. The vendors are around all times. As you can see, the marauders here on Gorgon specifically are crazier and they run faster. So yeah, you may be taken back by that at first, but you'll get used to it. Also, another thing to note too, doing all the missions is definitely recommended because there are certain ones that give you more experience than others, and in general, just the story alone for certain side missions is worth it. You'll have side missions just like in the main game. I'll give you an example. Where there's multiple ways to complete it. Like, see, it'll say like optional this, go do this. And then you'll have ones that are kind of straightforward, but then you'll have ones, like I said, that have like an optional task attached to it. Don't worry, you can't really like fail these missions like I did in the main story. All of them are completable. You can't really fail them, but definitely doing certain side objectives will definitely lead to slightly different outcomes and maybe different rewards and different dialogue options. You know, the whole 9 yards. Another cool part that does happen a little later in the story is at one point when you're going in between areas, you get raided and boarded by a ship, and then the ship is literally telling you like, "Oh, we're being boarded, Captain," and it's like, "What?" And then it's like, "Yeah, isn't that wonderful?" It's like, "No, that's really bad. That's not good at all." It's like, "Oh, like what's wrong with that?" It's like, I mean, shouldn't we be panicking? Like, and you could literally make a choice to like either dip or try to confront the people, or you know, if you confront them, you can confront them violently, non-violently. You can kind of choose what you want to do there. Of course, there's always doors you could open, terminals to read, things you could hack. Some places are going to be office spaces because remember, we are accessing an old company stomping ground, so they're going to have conveyor belts, they're going to have offices, they're going to have bathrooms, things like that. So it's not all barren wasteland, but you know, there's a fairly strong amount that is. There was one other thing I was going to mention to you guys. I was thinking about it while I was talking. I guess I could speak on the difficulty. I thought the difficulty was okay. It definitely ramps up as you're going later on into the levels and accessing different places. It does ramp up. So don't think that, just because you're level 30 and you beat the game that, you can't be killed. You could be killed, just, if you outfitted yourself well enough at the end of the game, of the main game, then you should be fine in this DLC. This is not the type of DLC that's going to literally, have its way with you. You're going to be able to enjoy the story, but also have a little bit of challenge with it. So it won't be terrible. And sometimes you have like alternate paths in the areas, like places you can, crouch under, or, flipping a switch, taking the elevator, things like that. That make, I guess, each person's playthrough personable to them, because they got to different places different ways. Spacer's Choice, what a terrible company. Then of course you always have the products they show in between loading times. Loading times aren't too long either. The voice acting is really good. Like you heard Lucky talking. I really like that voice actor. I forgot his name, but he's a good voice actor. What else here? By all means, feel free to like wander around and find things and whatnot like that. So don't feel restricted to just doing whatever the missions tell you to do. I'll take you guys to the Spratt Check. That'll probably be the last place I'll show you guys, because that's where you'll probably get some of your other side missions and meet some of the other characters. And some of them have pretty sad stories, and some of them, they either worked with Spacer's Choice and got screwed over, lost a loved one. Like one person in particular I'm thinking of, you have to find her husband's flask. Another person, you find his audio logs around. You even come into contact with some of the scientists that or researchers that worked closely, and you can even tell the impact it has on them. Some of them don't even want to talk about Gorgon. Some of them are like, all right, I'll talk about it, but like, what's in it for me type of thing. And then you have Lex here. Lex is pretty cool. She's the bar hop. Yeah, I remember when I first came in here, there was like these two people arguing about, yeah, there you go, it's Freddy and Trixie. They were arguing about like, oh, I found the salvage Freddy was like, oh, I found the salvage, and I said finders keepers and yelled it out. And then Trixie was like, well, when I came there, no one marked it, and then, so I marked it with an X, so it's mine. And then you had to like solve it out between the two of them. It was a pretty funny occurrence, I have to say. So let me show you the two other people. Oh yeah, I think he left. So then you have a couple random people here. Nothing crazy. The lady that was here left because I think we finished her quest. So more or less, that's Peril on Gorgon. It's definitely fun. I definitely would say it's worth playing, especially if you enjoyed Outer Worlds main game. It's not gonna hold your time forever. You're probably gonna play for like maybe 5 or 6 hours, if that. But it's a nice little tidbit added to the story. The way it kind of fits in the story, it seems like it happens prior to the end of the main game, because when I finished, the last NPC was asking me, oh, so what are you doing now? one of the options was like, oh, go break Wells out of prison. I hope most of you finished the the DLC, because that's not the DLC. I hope most of you finished the main game, because that was a tad bit spoiler there. But yeah, go break Wells out of prison, which is the last thing you do in the main game. So I'm assuming both DLCs happen like as your journey is going, and then the main game ending happens. But let me go into here, and then I will call it the moment we get to orbit. So I thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of Peril on Gorgon. Let me know if you play it. What were your feelings about it? And I'll see you guys around for when I do the second DLC analysis video. I think that one. What is the second DLC called? Murder on Eridanos. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. But anyways, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys around for the next analysis video. Peace.